Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cheryl's Home Cooking. So let's get started. Welcome to Cheryl's Home Cooking, and today what I'm going to show you is my homemade white bread. It's super duper good, so let's get started. So I have 1 cup of milk. It's about 115 degrees. I'll place it in my bowl. In my warm milk, I'll place 7 tablespoons of sugar. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1 package of the yeast. I have my oven on 350. So now just mix this and leave this off to the side. You'll place this off to the side for about 5 minutes. In my mixer, I'll place 1 egg that I had at room temperature, about 1 teaspoon of salt. I'll kind of eyeball it. That's good. I'll place 4 cups of flour. There's 1. 2, 3, 1. I'll also place 3 tablespoons of the dry milk. There's 1, 2, 3. It's called powdered milk, so it's 3 tablespoons. I'll place my dough hook on. Now I'll add in my yeast mixture. Along with 3½ tablespoons of butter that I had at room temperature. So you'll mix this until your dough starts climbing up your dough hook. Now I'll add in 1 more cup of flour. Now this is perfect. The dough climbed right up my dough hook. So now I'll take the dough hook off my mixer. Take my bowl off. So I'll take my dough out. That's perfect. So now I'll spray the inside of my bowl. Place my dough on the bottom. cover it. I'll put my dough off to the side to let it rise. It should be double in size, so it'll probably take about an hour. So now I'll check on my dough. So I had a little help from my heat lamps. So now I have my baking dish. I'll spray it with cooking spray. Leave it off to the side. I'll place a little flour on my counter. Take my dough ball out. I'll take my dough. It's nice and soft. I'll roll it out. Now that I rolled my dough out, what I'm going to do is just roll it up loosely. Place it seam side down into my greased baking pan. I'll place the cover on it and let that rise. So I'll put it back under my heat lamp. So I place the dough back underneath my heat lamp to help it rise. Once that process is done, then I'll put it in my 350-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until the top is nice and golden brown. But remember, ovens vary, so keep an eye on it. You don't want to burn your bread. Now I'll check on my bread. Oh, that's perfect. See how good that rose? So now I'll put it on my counter. That's good. So now I'll take one egg. I'll brush the egg wash on top. And you'll bake this in your 350-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. This homemade bread is really good. So the top is all got the egg wash on it. That's what it looks like. So now into the oven it goes. Now I'll check on my bread, see how it's doing. Look at how good that looks. That's perfect. I left my bread in the oven for 30 minutes. So you can see it turned a nice golden brown on top. So I just took it out of the oven and I'll let it rest for a few minutes before I remove it from my pan. Really smells good. I love the smell of fresh home-baked bread in the kitchen. So now I'll remove my bread from my pan. Look at how good that looks. Doesn't that look good? This bread came right out of that pan, so nice and easy. So now I'll cut a slice. Look at how perfect that came out. That's the perfect white bread. I added some butter on top, so I'll give it a try. Really good. Nice and warm. Nothing like homemade white bread. Came out perfect. This is really good. You got to give this recipe a try. It's really good. Look at how good the inside of this bread looks. It's so good. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Cheryl's Home Cooking and watching me make my homemade white bread. It's super duper good. Give it a try. I'll see you guys next video. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Cheryl's Home Cooking and watching me make one of my family's favorite recipes. Give it a try.